The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League. Tradition.
Back to pass. Looking fumble the football. And it is recovered by Orlando at the 17.
Drama.
Nervousness on both sides. 7 in the box against 4 wide receivers. One-on-one coverage. Danzo back to throw. Danzo going deep down the field. It's caught by quick. 40, down to the 35. 1 second.
Passion.
Stepping up, going right hand side. Oh, what a play from Caesar Cannon. Falling backwards with a one-handed grab.
Epic.
Mark's got all day to throw. Steps up, goes across his body. Oh, what a throw! What a throw! Touchdown, San Francisco!
It's the SFL live on Twitch TV.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SFL Update, episode 5 of this offseason. And we are rolling right along here. Sorry for the late start here tonight, but we're going to breeze right through here. We were trying to get some contract situations worked out with one of our expansion teams. Couldn't get it in time, so we're going to have to go ahead without their money details, but we will have, in terms of their 12 stars, who will be gold, silvers, and bronze. So a little bit of a setback there, but apologize for the wait, and we are very excited about next week. Do not miss next week's show, the Season 6 schedule reveal, and actually tonight we will be unveiling who will be playing on opening night. 3 games on the schedule, and we'll do that at the end of the show. I want to give a shout out to everyone who's here with us tonight. That is... Everything's taking a little bit longer to load tonight. AJ Pick 6, Bondo 24, CP3 Buddha 504, Dart Destro MD, DHMYC, Flava 2K, I'm Effin' Problem, Jason 1347, Landry Hat, Lord Raiders 77, Luthorn 16, NY Kia 31, TJ Cag SFL, True Shot Collar 1, and many of you watching on demand. Welcome to the show tonight, and thanks for being with us live. And since I won't get to say it before the next time we are on the air, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. So with that, let's get to our announcements this evening, which we don't have much on the docket tonight, but we will be unveiling the 4 expansion teams' full plethora of stars, golds, silvers, and bronzes, to see where exactly these teams will be placing their stars on the field. That's really the main thing going on tonight. We'll learn more about these players as the season goes along, as the offseason rolls along, and as the SFL website updates fully. But for now, we're looking to see where these teams have landed, who these teams have signed, and where those picks from the expansion draft ended up signing with teams as well. So, oh man, DHMYC just slayed the best joke in the last month that I've seen. The Philadelphia 6 and 76ers. That's brilliant. They may not even get to 6 wins. They're hysterical. So the 4 teams tonight. Let's take a look at what they did. And we're going to start with the Dallas Law. And the Dallas Law will start a gold quarterback and running back. Murdoch Muck and Mick Hardcastle are the 2 golds in the backfield leading the Dallas Law this year. Both sign 3-season, $18 million contract. Middle linebacker Bones Malone will be taking the field to lead the Dallas Law defense. The Silvers, free safety Pete Secord, it is back there deep, helping out Malone in the secondary. The best wide receiver on the team, Flynn Starbuck, at 2 seasons, $8 million. All the contracts for Dallas, 2 seasons, $8 million. Cornerback Gavin Hawk and outside linebacker Ed Braby, who was picked in the expansion draft last week, he is a silver outside linebacker joining Malone in what should be a pretty stellar linebacking core for the Dallas Law. Their bronzes are wide receiver Logan Ochenta-Iocho, tight end is Eddie Eastmark, cornerback Latron Marion, also picked up in the draft, along with Ochenta-Iocho, strong safety Mitchell Maverick, and defensive end Bull Bukowski, rounding out the Bronze Stars for Dallas. So Dallas gets a pass rusher. They start two corners and two safeties at the star level. Also, two linebackers, two very good linebackers. It looks like Dallas will focus on the linebacking core as being their strength. And obviously, having a leader at quarterback and running back should make Dallas a pretty decent offense as well, with a couple of receivers and a tight end to complement Mock. So there you go with that. Mock, Hardcastle, Malone, Secord, Starbuck, Hawk, Rebrabi, Ochenta-Iocho, Eastmark, Marion, Maverick, and Bukowski are the 12 Dallas Law Stars. So the one team we were trying to get in tonight, we just could not get in, at least to the graphic, was the Sioux Falls Sparrows, and we don't have their final financial decisions. We will have that on a later update to fill everybody in, but we can at least give you their team setup. Julian Tyree and Ashley Anderson, like Dallas, Sioux Falls will go with a gold halfback and a gold quarterback. And free safety, check that. Kanye Rockefeller is not the third gold. In fact, that was the issue with Sioux Falls. I apologize. That's a teaser for Houston. Third gold yet to be determined for the Sioux Falls Sparrows. At silver, strong safety Jace Jefferson, free safety A.J. Levy, who was picked up in the draft, and a couple of silver wide receivers too, Khalil Cadilla and Miles Portis will line up both at silver. So a talented receiving core and offense there for Sioux Falls. You should not have a blank screen. I want to make sure that no one does. So speculation still rises with Sioux Falls and who their third gold might be. No linebackers on the screen. Maybe Sioux Falls goes in that direction. That would be interesting if they took sort of the Tallahassee Pride approach and did not have a star linebacker. But how about the bronzes? Sioux Falls, a star kicker and a punter, Sammy Prefontaine and Max Maholt, star bronze players for the Sparrows. Their special teams should be outstanding. A couple of corners at bronze, Delta Coakley and Ethan King. King and Levy, along with Maholt, being picked up in that expansion draft last week. The wide receiver, Bernie Beasley, is the third star receiver for Sioux Falls. So the Sparrows will go with three star wide receivers out there, along with Anderson and Tyree on offense. So right now, a 5-4-2 setup. I would expect to see a gold linebacker of some sort there for the Sparrows. But who knows? Maybe they go gold tight end and go offense and special teams heavy. They could also get to gold defensive tackle or defensive end to try to shore up the defensive line. So it'll be interesting to see where Sioux Falls goes. Again, our apologies. Sioux Falls and I were trying to get some last-minute contract decisions ironed out. We couldn't do it. Didn't want to hold you up any longer. So we will have an update on Sioux Falls and a couple of other teams in terms of their transactions later on in the offseason when we have some more concrete information on that. I want to remind everyone, especially those who may have just got here or got here in the last few minutes, the schedule release show is next week. We'll be breaking down each the full league schedule. We'll be breaking down the broadcast schedule and how that will work. We'll be breaking down each team's schedule along with the schedule by week to show you how that breaks down as well. That will come next week at 6 o'clock. Same time, same place, right here on the SFL Network. You will not want to miss that SFL update. It will be an awesome night making all those announcements. Next up, the Houston Hyenas. And for Houston, they go in a different direction. First expansion team to not have a gold quarterback, but Darnell Black at running back will be the main stud for this Houston Hyenas squad. They will rely on their running game. Middle linebacker Alonzo Hamilton is at $18 million 3 seasons. And free safety Kanye Rockefeller, who was the first pick in the expansion draft, is a gold free safety. 3 seasons, $15 million. And Houston will rely on their running game and defense, it looks like, to win them some ball games this year at the Elephant Graveyard, a.k.a. Landmark Coliseum. The Silvers are quarterback Courtney Coleman, and he'll be paid more than any other Silver, $10 million for 2 seasons. Wide receiver DR Sim. There is a trade that has happened. Baltimore will trade DR Sim and Dwayne Blackwell to the Houston Hyenas in exchange for a couple of similar pieces that will head to Baltimore, at least at this point in the offseason. Players are players as things get reset on the SFL side of things, as players get new homes and get new coaches and get new strategies in place. So DR Sim heading to Houston along with Blackwell, who will also be a silver strong safety on that Houston Hyena defense, along with cornerback Aaron Arrington, who was drafted in the expansion draft. So a very good defense for Houston. 3 gold and silvers in the secondary and a gold middle linebacker. The Hyenas should be a very good defensive unit if they can get the playbook straightened out. On the bronze level, wide receiver Josh Fedd, outside linebacker DJ Majesty, cornerback Aaron Payne, tight end Brad Wiggins, and wide receiver Barry Burgeons. So it's interesting that the Hyenas are going to rely on a running game with Darnell Black, yet they go 3 wide receivers and a tight end to complement Courtney Coleman. Pretty much anybody on the field that Coleman throws to is going to be a star. Houston making sure of that. 2 corners, 2 safeties, a couple of linebackers, no players on the defensive front or in special teams. Houston going to try to win with a lot of firepower on both sides of the ball. Very interesting team build there for DR Sim 80 and the Houston Hyenas. Darth Destro MD objecting, not quite sure why. But I want to take a break just in case things are about to go off on the deep end. You never want to ignore that. It's not like I deal with it enough, right? Darth Destro, you better be joking, champ. Thank you. Thank you. It was all a joke. You know, I got to take things seriously around here, otherwise everything falls apart. So we've seen 3 teams. Now, remember, coming up still tonight, we're going to unveil the opening night schedule. We're going to show you some new stuff on the website as well. That comes up after the 4th team reveal, which is NYC. And here's what the NYC Sailors look like. My man C, I'm a bit preoccupied at the moment. So the NYC Sailors look like this. Middle linebacker Jean-Pierre Lamarck will be the star player for this squad. So it's interesting, and I want to do some team comparisons now. So we saw a gold middle linebacker for Houston, potentially a gold linebacker for Sioux Falls, a gold linebacker for Dallas, and a gold linebacker for NYC. Sultan Muhammad will be the star receiver, along with quarterback Carter Peters. So Peters gets a gold receiver So a gold quarterback and receiver combo in NYC will make things very interesting. At the silver level, halfback Celestiano Filo will be the star silver back there. Free safety and strong safety Randall Del Castro and Cecil Randolph will lead the secondary, which didn't have any gold players, but those will be their two top players. And a silver kicker for the first time, KJ, and I'm going to butcher this name, but Batistuta, which I looked it up earlier. I believe a brother of a famous Argentinian soccer player. NY Kia can correct me if I'm wrong. But a silver kicker for NYC will certainly have their special teams in order, kicking field goals and kickoffs. The bronzes, left tackle Riggs Hornish, they also will have a guard nicknamed Pork Chop Priestley. So it's interesting. New York goes with a star guard and tackle, which is very unusual. In fact, one of the few times in SFL history we've had two stars. Batistuta is the correct pronunciation. Thank you, NY Kia. I knew I was going to get it wrong. Defensive end Jack Bostrom, who was taken in the draft. Wide receiver Stephen Olamex and cornerback Bentley Van Buren are the bronze stars. So looking at the team, one-star corner at just bronze for NYC, but a couple of golds or silvers checked out. It's the safety positions. Two receivers, no tight ends. So Carter Peters going to rely heavily on Muhammad and Olamex. And also to Lamarck, just the lone linebacker, as New York elects to get a couple of guards, or a couple of offensive linemen, I should say, and a kicker. So NYC goes in a really different direction. You know, Sioux Falls got a kicker and a punter as well. So interesting how that will all work out. So let's take one last look at these four teams in terms of their offense, defense, special teams lineup. For the Dallas Law, they have 5 players on offense, and they have 7 players on defense, 5-7-0 for the Dallas Law, yet 2 of their 3 golds at the skill positions on offense, Murdoch Mock and Mick Hardcastle. Sioux Falls, 3rd gold and contract still pending, but as of right now has 5 offensive players, 4 defensive players, and 2 players on special teams. So Sioux Falls taking more of an offensive and defense with in the kicking game, so to speak, angle there for the Sparrows. For Houston, they've got 6 players on offense and 6 players on defense, an extremely balanced build with 4 of their 6 defensive players as silvers or golds. So we expect Houston to have a very good defensive unit. And for NYC, they've got 1 on special teams. They've got 6 on offense and 5 on defense, and that's how the Sailors break down. So there's our first detailed look at really on how these teams are forming. How about a look at the players from the expansion draft and where they landed? Carter Peters, a gold. Riggs Hornish, a bronze. Jack Bostrom, a bronze for NYC. For Houston, Rockefeller, a gold. Arrington, a silver. And DJ Majesty, a bronze. Sioux Falls, Max Maholt and Ethan King, bronzes, while A.J. Levy is a silver at free safety. And for Dallas, Ree Braby is a silver, and Ochenta Iocho and Marion are bronzes. So that's a look at the 4 expansion teams, and those were our main announcements tonight. And I want to make sure that the chat is all cleared up. So with that, let's take a look at the opening night schedule. We're excited to unveil this. The opening night will be Thursday, January 7th. Thursday, January 7th. And we have to show you tonight how to watch the SFL next year. And hopefully everything all works out at this level. But let's take a look. First we're going to take a look at the rule book. So the rule book has been updated on the SFL site. If you go to About Us, it's underneath History and Staff. And you can take a detailed look at how we operate, and it's a lot more condensed and concise. Yes, there's still a lot of things in here, but we also got some pictures to break up the text as well as you take a look at some of our more detailed and in-depth rules. Those are all available on our website. And before we unveil, well, no, we're gonna go ahead and unveil it. January 7th, Thursday, and here are the 3 games that are going to be happening. So here's what we hope is how you watch SFL games this season. If you go to the game day page of the SFL website, there it is. The first 3 matchups. The commentated game Thursday, January 7th. Season. If you go to the game day page, I have to pause myself here so we don't get an echo. But Thursday, January 7th, the DC Dragons, the defending champs, will be hosting the Baltimore Crabs. It'll be the first time that TJ CAG SFL and Darth Destro MD will be facing off against one another. That is the main game on opening night, Thursday, January 7th at 7 p.m. Games will be Thursdays and Mondays at 7 Central and Sundays at 3 Central. Sundays at the beginning of the season are a bit different. So, you have to bear with us on that. Other games, Thursday night, opening night, the Dallas Law will play their first game. The only expansion team that plays Thursday, they will travel to Tallahassee, who will open up their season at home after losing in the semifinals to Santa Fe. The third game of the night on the SFL kickoff evening is the Cleveland Vipers, the new-look Cleveland Vipers of the San Francisco Bulldogs. So here's how we hope you will watch. So this is Network 1. If you want to watch Dallas and Tallahassee, you just click this box, and it takes you right to Dallas and Tallahassee. If you want to watch Cleveland and San Francisco, it takes you right to Cleveland and San Francisco. It'll all be in this window as you can go back and forth from every game you want to go to while keeping the chat hooked up and ready to go on the right side. We hope that everything runs smoothly with the setup, but we've worked hard to get this setup coded and ready to go for your viewing pleasure all season long. You'll be able to shuffle through multiple games at the same time with ease, and that's how we intend the SFL to operate in Season 6 and beyond. Does anyone have any questions? Now, obviously, you can watch, one game in one tab, one game in another, etc. Depending upon your internet connection, it'll be difficult for you to watch more than one game at a time, but we've tried to make it as easy as possible in order for you to stay connected with the SFL. Same chat for all games, Jason1347. The chat never disappears. You see, I go to the second game, I go to the third game. First game, the chat never disappears, and it goes from one channel to the next. We will have an SFL 1, 2, and 3, if you will, during the season. TJ CAG SFL asks, can we have one fat build, DT or O-line? Most NFL teams have 1 to 2. I don't see any reason why you can't have more than that. Lord Raider 77 asks, will there be a buffet at the draft on the 6th? I don't know. We got a lot of things going on December the 6th. We're going to have 12 teams drafting on the same night. It's going to be pandemonium, insanity, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know that a buffet is in order. CP3 Buddha 504 asks why Houston isn't playing on opening night. Well, to answer that question, you'll have to find out next week when the full schedule is released and you find out when Houston will play their first game. Flava2K asks, wait, so different booth guys? No, not exactly. In the short term, the other two games will strictly just be Dan and Peter. There won't be another broadcast crew. However, in the future, moving forward, as we continue to get more popular, as we continue to build towards Twitch partnership, as we continue to find other resources and other avenues and other ways to present our product, having other crews could be possible down the road. But since we don't have other crews at this time and don't plan on having that at least for another year, at least we can run the games at the same time while I'm on the air, so that if your team's playing on another network, you can flip back and forth between what your team is doing or what the team you're cheering for is doing, or what the team you need to lose or win is doing while you're watching the main commentated game. That's certainly our hope and our intent. True Shot Caller 1 asks, so to confirm, no preseason this year, right? That is correct. And that is because we've gone from an 8-game schedule over a 12-week period to a 12-game schedule over a 12-week period. There are no more bye weeks, and you get 4 extra games. So while all your games won't be commentated, you'll get 4 more games. That will allow teams to better navigate the regular season without feeling like preseason is life or death. The first few games, you should be able to shake out all the bugs and kinks if you have any, so that we don't have to spend time, effort, and resources putting together preseason games that in the end don't mean anything to the standings, and that's why we went ahead with that. So that brings up another point. So no buys. So you're never going to have to go 2 weeks at a time without seeing your team play. Your team will play. That the most you'll ever have to wait is 11 days. DHMYCS, who are the broadcasters on the other two channels, it's just Dan and Peter. And we hope that everyone will, for example, on opening night, watch Baltimore and DC with us and flip back and forth between Dallas and Tallahassee, Cleveland and San Francisco. But also, don't forget, we'll have in-game highlights on the Baltimore DC channel of Dallas and Tallahassee, Cleveland and San Francisco. So if you're watching Baltimore and DC, we'll have the hookup. We'll let you know if anything big happens in the other games, or you can flip around back and forth and get as much SFL football as your little heart desires. So Greg Corky will be along with me. We'll also have Mike Peters back again. We'll also have Damon Simeon coming in a couple of times this year as well. He was a great help in the championship game, being our 4th member, and we're excited to have them along board in a greater capacity. So there you have it. We looked at the team builds for the expansion teams as the expansion teams begin to grow their products. Just to note for all SFL fans that all teams will have all of their roster builds set up, complete, and sent to the league office by December 5th, and we are feverishly trying to get all those teams ready and get those rosters completed so that we can be ready for the season. A January 7th kickoff, Baltimore at DC in the spotlight. Dallas, Tallahassee, Cleveland, San Francisco, the other two. With that, does anyone have any other questions before we head off the air? I know there wasn't a whole lot, so I wanted to drop the teasers and some of the updates on the website. Also, too, if you've missed any SFL updates throughout the off season on the homepage, you're able to go to past updates by clicking on the links, and we let you know what those broadcasts entailed as well. Flava2K asks if there's going to be uniform reveals. It's not in the plans, but on the season preview show, we may be able to put something together. That's December 30th, I believe. No, it's January 4th is the season preview show. That's 3 days before we kick off. We should have all the uniforms by then, and we should be able to unveil those to the public during that show. Also could do that December 21st when we announce the website fully and all of the features, and we go through all the details of the new website. Servo222 asks, do we have to fill anything out? What if I don't care about equipment? No, if you don't care about equipment, you don't have to fill that portion out. Correct. 12/6 is the rookie draft. So our next two shows are going to be ridiculous. We're going to have the schedule reveal next Monday. That's going to be insane. And then we're going to have the rookie draft for the 12 teams. So there's going to be 36 picks potentially that night, the following Sunday, December 6th. DR Sim 80, I will show another new intro again as we go off the air. TJ CAG SFL asks if we need all uniform codes. So with the uniform, or with the editor, I should say, you can put in, and Dart Destro MD can correct me if I'm wrong, you can put in any amount of uniforms you want. And I put on the website a new rule regarding uniforms. As long as they're within your color scheme, you can make as many different uniforms and wear, 12 different uniforms in 12 different games, 12 different variations of what you have throughout the year, if you so desire. One uniform can be, a theme night, whether that be military or blackout or whatever. And by theme night, I mean uniforms that don't carry your primary colors. So, for example, DC wanted to have a Bruce Lee night. So they would have yellow in the mix on their uniforms. That's not usually their team color. They would be able to wear those once a year, depending upon the game. But otherwise, you're allowed to go crazy on uniforms. Flava2K asks, all skill sets are locked in, or can we modify one or two skills? Nope, that's you submitted your list of abilities. The owner was able to choose from those abilities on that list. They have sent that in. They have locked that in, and we are in the editing building process now. So we are moving on and trying to get ready for the season, because it is a lot of work, folks. NYKia31 asks if he plays the DC Dragons. Yes, you will play each other twice as divisional opponents. You will play all divisional opponents twice. All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to the broadcast. Thanks, Dart Destro MD, for all the work behind the scenes, and thanks to all of our owners for getting things ready as quickly as possible. This has been another SFL update, a crazy night, and don't forget, guys. I know it's the NFL, I know it's not the SFL, and I know it's not our MO, but we got a really exciting thing coming up in a couple hours on our partner channel, PX1 Sports. We're doing a Red Zone channel, and it's user versus user. Yes, it's Madden, so I know some of you aren't Madden fans, but doing a red zone and sort of going back and forth between the games, it'll be my first. I've really liked watching previous ones that PX1 has done behind the scenes. That's going to be a lot of fun. That starts at 9 or roughly 9 p.m. at twitch.tv/PX1 Sports. So I'm really excited to get over to their studios and get going on that tonight. But for us, that's it. In 7 days, next Monday, the schedule is out. Find out who you're playing, when you're playing, and when you're in prime time on the SFL network with myself, Greg Morris, Mike Peters. That's a wrap for all of us at the SFL. Have a great night, everybody.